A few weeks ago, I was scrolling through eBay and I came across an absolute bargain. Now, it's pretty common knowledge that finding good deals on eBay is a very, very hard task. A lot of the times, people know exactly what they're selling on eBay, and it's become less of a place for people to clear out their attic and get rid of their junk, and more so a platform for resellers to earn a lot of profit. Now, in Japan, there is an abundance of retro gaming tech because, well, let's face it, Japan is where it all started. And when an item is made in Japan, it's released to the Japanese market before it is anywhere else in the world. And that was especially true for the Game Boy and all the other consoles that Nintendo made. So I was scrolling through eBay and I came across an absolute bargain. Now, I couldn't really believe that it was true. I thought this has got to be I don't know, some sort of an error in the listing, but I just thought I'm gonna buy it and then I'll deal with the problems afterwards. So I immediately purchased it. I think it was probably up there for about 3 or 4 minutes. I went on some of the newer searches and it was like the 3rd or 4th one down there. So here it is. It's right here. Game Boy Pocket console, normal color with box, Japanese version GB. And I was scrolling through and I thought, oh, I need a box for my DMG style pockets. I've got quite a lot of those. I've made quite a lot of videos restoring them. I buy them for cheap, really discolored, fix them up. So I was scrolling through, I looked at the price and I saw that it was $29 and $15 postage. So that's 45 bucks. Scrolling through, and then all of a sudden, hang about, there's an absolute Game Boy in here, isn't there? There's an actual Game Boy Pocket which comes with this box. Now what drew me to this Game Boy immediately was not just the fact that it's the LED version of the grey Game Boy Pocket, but just how good condition the Game Boy was in. I mean, I know that there's a screen burn in the center, but the lens didn't look scratched. The box doesn't look too bad at all. And the actual color of it is absolutely pristine. I bought this Game Boy right here, gold Game Boy with a decent looking screen for $12.40 and $6 postage. Here is said Game Boy. The gold one is also a limited edition in Japan. And it was also released in America with Donkey Kong, I believe. But there's a lot of issues with the paint on here. It's a metal-based paint and it has also sort of oxidized and corroded, especially true for the battery cover. It's almost completely disappeared. But the Game Boy works, you know, absolutely perfectly. Look at that. And the screen has no damage to it. So, what we're gonna do is take a look at this Game Boy, swap over the screen. We've got ourselves a mint condition Game Boy for a very, very affordable price. And I'll repair this screen anyway and put it back in there. So here we go, Game Boy Pocket, grey, boxed. The condition of the box is very decent. I'm going to try and get an acrylic box protector for this. I'm not sure that you can find the really thin ones, but maybe one of the thicker actual, you know, 3 or 4 millimeter acrylic boxes. So then we open it up. It didn't come with any manuals or anything, but a lot of that stuff is quite generic anyway. I could probably find some replacements. Unfortunately, the insert, the tray, is a little bit ripped, but again, I can definitely find a replacement for that. The most important thing is this Game Boy, and this is the best condition DMG Game Boy I've ever seen in my life. It doesn't even look like it's ever been used. So let's take some batteries, we'll take them out of here, and just see if it even turns on. I mean, it did in the photos, but I mean, this is just so minty. Unreal, there isn't a scratch on it. A tiny bit of wear across the top here where Game Boy cartridges have been slid in and out, but you know, besides that, it's insanely good condition. I don't know what a fresh Game Boy smells like, but I imagine it's this. Turning it on. Excellent. Volume works perfectly as well. It is sort of a shame to crack it open because at least right now it is an unopened Game Boy, but I do want to replace that screen. So I'm going to go ahead and undo this one and just show you how simple it is to do. You need to take a tri-ring screwdriver. I'll leave the link to the one that I use in the description, which will be affiliated, and you can go ahead and get that. And it has the right size tri-ring bit in there ready for you to use straight away. So there's 6 tri-ring screws on the outside of the Game Boy Pocket. Be really careful when unscrewing and rescrewing these screws back in because the screws are screwed into plastic. So it may crack and you need to be really, really careful not to damage the shell because that is what's worth pretty much the most amount of money on these Game Boys. Lift the back up and we've got 3 Phillips screws to go in here and undo, which we shall do now. The solder joints on this thing as well look unbelievably good condition. This is, I'm in shock of how much of a bargain this is. Okay, and once you've done those, you can then unhook the ribbon cable, very simple, just with your nail, just undo the two little white latches, and then you can lift up the motherboard and pull the ribbon cable out very gently. There we go. And then you have access to your Game Boy, and oh my God, look at the condition of this thing. What the absolute heck. This looks fresh, straight out of the factory. Now we need to remove the screen. You need to be really careful when doing this because you can damage these LCD screens. They're very brittle. So just very gently twist the shell. Try and get your nail underneath one of the corners of the screen. And then twist the opposite direction. And the adhesive underneath should just give away, and then you'll be able to lift up the screen. Just like that. Okay, we can set that screen to the side, and I'm going to whiz through the gold Game Boy disassembly and get the screen out. Brilliant, that came out really, really easily, which is relieving. I'll give it a quick wipe. Dust just does make its way into these sorts of things, especially through, you know, all the holes in the battery terminal and the cartridge slot. So just give it a little wipe down, and then we can set it back down in our minty fresh, have I said that enough yet? Game Boy Pocket. There we go, absolutely lovely. Okay, slide the ribbon cable back in and set the motherboard back down again. Close the locks, and we can put our 3 Phillips screws back inside. Set the back on again like that, and grab your tri-wing screwdriver and just do up those screws. Again, be really, really careful when you're doing this not to crack the plastic inside the screw thread, because as I mentioned, metal going into plastic, you just need to be really, really careful. So the second you start feeling it getting a bit sort of tight, just stop, because it doesn't need to go any tighter than that. Chuck our batteries in now again, and whack the battery cover back on again. Flip it round, and it turns on, and it looks, oh my God, I can't get over that. What an absolute bargain. Oh my goodness me. I've been so excited for this Game Boy to arrive for such a long time, and it's finally here, it's in my hands, and I paid £35 for it with a box. Unreal. I mean, look at the difference that new replacement screen makes. A huge difference. With this, you know, it just made it look like it had a lot of problems, but in reality, there were no problems. It was just a simple replacement. Boom town. Look at that. £35. Oh my goodness me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this ego boost video of how lucky I was to find this deal. I'm sorry if you guys feel a little bit sad that I, you know, beat you to an absolute bargain, but that's what happened. I'm gonna get so much hate from this. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little video. It's just a little bit of an excitement for me, you know, just because I absolutely love these things. They're so cool. Imagine I just dropped it. That would have been awful. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and I will catch you in the next video. Goodbye. Peace.